is he in Germany?
Sure.
No, it's Finland, I think. I think he's Finnish. Welcome, sir. I don't know what time it is over there. Yeah, that's what I said, boss. It's time you eat a piece of humble pie, boy.
That'd be awesome to say to him.
Goblin King 7883, Rambo Raft for Life. This is a good one. The dream has been realized. The dragon has been slain. The pit has met the Wrath. Or the Wrath has met the pit.
What an interesting. Yeah.
I
think honestly, in some ways, that we should just quit. I think it's like we've come full circle now, right? So it's like this should just be the end. Like
Uncle Bill loves Black Peter. He's in the house. What's up, dude?
I'm a huge fan of Black Peter.
Yeah, so Jake the Movie Geek, Blissful's in here, boys. Now, she's a hardcore Dana supporter. She's switching sides for tonight.
Well, Dana ain't streaming tonight because Dana's got the shits, the sugar shits or something. I don't know. She's sick.
Dana got on there. I apologize, everybody. I've shit all over the place tonight. I'm not going to be able to do the stream.
That may be the best thing ever if she ever did that,
though. Might as well. I mean, hell, they're all about TMI, you know. White Peter. Joster Dumb 75. Ooh, Rob Scott is in the house. He's staying up late on a work night. How's it going, man? Little Dumplings Books is in here, too.
He brings up a good point, though, that I was going to bring up, too, but I don't think you probably want
Texas.
brought up.
What?
It's only an hour and 43 minutes until your birthday. You're going to probably be on here when your damn birthday hits.
Maybe. I don't know. It's the monitor's not helping matters none. I'm still on here. I can't see you.
It's looking good, though. Flash on off like you're in a fucking disco or something. Let's play some techno.
Yeah. Come on, monitor.
Yeah, there we
go. Oh, the shit that we do on this show. We do have a super chat from our good friend Michael Rashpal. He's Canadian. He's sending $6.99 Canadian. Crazy that next year it'll be 20 years since I've been following DEADPIT. I really appreciate the entertainment over the years.
Not as crazy as it is to me. Yeah.
We've been doing this quite a while. Stuntman Mark. We could have easily gotten a photo with Adam Green, but I mean, who cares?
That would have been simple.
Poor Adam Green. Nobody cared. That's not a surprise. I'm always hurting somebody's feelings, Kathy. I apologize. I don't know what I've done, but
you really are. You need a new gimmick, like I don't know, like the Rainmaker, where you make people cry or something.
Feelings destroyer,
Mr. Pain. There's got to be something.
I don't know what I've done, but I'm always making somebody mad. But tonight we're going to tell our story. HorrorHound weekend, last weekend. And I'm saying now, as far as going to a convention to meet somebody, get an autograph or something, this was one that I never, ever thought at all. Like, I don't even know if I had heard people request Eli Roth do conventions. But this was, I mean, it surprised me. I didn't think that he would ever do a horror convention that was at least not in LA area, or, you know, something to be convenient for him to do. What about you guys? You surprised Eli Roth finally did a show?
Yeah, and I think he honestly enjoyed it, it seemed like. I mean, I saw some clips on YouTube of like the Cabin Fever panel that he did, and that would have been cool to see. I think it was a packed house in there. I think they actually had to like shut the doors to, you know, keep more people from going in, a standing room only. But he seemed like he was really enjoying it. So I'm sure it's not going to be the last time you'll see him doing this.
Well, I don't know why he never did it really before. I don't know if, you know, if that was his decision, if people just kept him away from it. But, you know, it makes sense to me now because he was promoting all of his crazy shit that he's doing and that Thanksgiving Blu-ray or whatever that would just come out. And then I'm sure he's doing, a Ghost Fuck My Sister 2 or whatever
Electric Boogaloo.
whatever Lifetime show he's got now. So he had a lot of stuff to promote by being there too. Plus he's doing Thanksgiving 2. And and he's doing these shows all over the place. Like he's
Well, I
got,
think he's signed for 3. He's got one more. I think it's in
he's-
Texas.
and he'll
But-
continue to do them. I bet he made like a couple $100,000 probably.
Should have got
Would have
a
had to.
picture. Should have got a picture of his table that he had set up at the end of his line for like the stuff that he had that you could sign or just buy, because he had some like collectible stuff on the table there. I don't know if you guys went in and saw that, but I didn't even think to take a picture of it. But some pricey stuff on there for sure. Which I don't know if y'all notice this, but is it becoming the norm now for these celebrities to start charging extra if you want one of the things on the table signed?
Yes. Yeah, that's
Of
the
course.
new.
That's brand new to
honest
me.
God, that's
Well,
the
they're-
new thing.
They're selling unsigned 8x10s as well for $10 a piece.
Well, that's what I mean. Like it's like you want a signature signed on an 8x10. It's like $10 more than what just the signature is. So they're charging you to get something off their table. It's
They're
like, I think
charging you for the 8x10 now.
Yeah.
Which used to be really just like included in it because it's such a crazy price. You would just,
Yeah.
that's what you would get.
Super duper sticker from Kathy Bradshaw. Thank you very much, ma'am. We definitely appreciate it. I still don't know what super stickers are. Somebody fill me in.
I just think they're just donations without
But I-
comments.
But
That's
I
the only thing I can
appreciate.
figure.
I definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. So the travel for you, Matt. Like, how far were you from? I know you mentioned it to me, but I can't recall.
4 hours exactly.
Okay, so
So,
you
yeah.
you were a little further than us. I think we're just right at 3 hours, a little over 3 hours
Yeah.
to Cincinnati. And I rented an Airbnb for 2 nights. And Sarah and I went down on that Friday later. It was definitely later, but it was still early enough to where we could get our passes and everything. So I wouldn't have to fool with waiting in line for 2 hours or whatever the hell it was to get all of our passes. And so that was good. I didn't go into the convention at all on Friday. I just got the passes and left, kind of scoped out the entrances and stuff and had a, and it didn't seem too awful confusing.
No, I went in on Friday night. I didn't go to the vendor area, but I was in there for the Henry Rollins show on Friday night, which was very cool. I will say that. I had no idea that he had done it in the past once or twice at HorrorHound. But the ticket price for that evening with Henry Rollins was cheaper than what you would normally pay to see him on his normal tour dates when he does that kind of thing. So, yeah, it was cool. Probably a room about maybe 300 people in the room, 400 maybe.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was really cool. He talked for about 75 minutes or so, and that guy talks about 1,000,000 miles a minute. I don't know if you've ever heard him do his storytelling, but he is just nonstop the entire time, stands in one spot on the stage and doesn't move and just rips all these stories out. And he told some cool horror related stories from his childhood and horror movie, seeing The Exorcist for the first time as a kid and things like that. So that was cool to see. But when I went in there, it was like the line was really long for that.
I wonder why they didn't get him to, I guess he charges a separate fee to actually do autographs and stuff or what? Because he has done these shows before, hasn't he?
I guess. I don't know if he's ever done actual signatures at
Have you ever
HorrorHound.
seen him though really be like people go up to him?
Not
and,
really.
Listen, there's stuff on YouTube of people interviewing him and like going up to him and stuff. He's got a really abrasive kind of personality in interviews and things like that. So I can't imagine he probably enjoys, fan coming up to him and asking shit. I just don't think that's his gig. I'm not
Yeah.
positive I've ever seen him. He probably has, but I don't remember him doing a show just as like a guest.
I think he
No.
has. I think he has done a.
Probably around the time when Feast came out or something like that, maybe, but I don't remember it.
He was talking about how like people to this day still send him hate mail because he was in the movie Jack Frost. Like not the horror Jack Frost.
The one with Michael Keaton.
Yeah. I didn't remember that he was in that, but
I mean, he's like one of the only guys I've ever, that guy Nardwar that does all the celebrity interviews. He's one of the only guys I've ever seen get genuinely pissed off at that guy and like cut the interview short. And there's another interview he did with like a 16-year-old kid when he was in Black Flag where he basically just like berates him.
That's a legendary interview.
Yeah, it's just not. I don't think that's his thing.
No,
I don't think he enjoys it. But
it was
as a performer, he's great. Yeah,
it was very
spoken word is great.
So as far as Friday night though, you didn't go into the convention side of it, did you, Matt, at all on Friday?
When I got there, it was about 8:30. The show started at 9. There were still people in the vendor area. I didn't have a ticket or a wristband to go in the vendor area, but there were certainly people walking around out in the general main area. And it was hotter than hell. And it looked pretty decent amount of people there that late on a Friday night. So I think they're open later on Friday night, though, if I'm not mistaken.
So the Airbnb, which Uncle Bill was concerned about.
This is killer.
Dude, like I've got a photo. I should have had it ready on here. Maybe I'll post it on the DEADPIT.com fans Facebook. This Airbnb that we stayed at, I swear to God, it looked just like the one from fucking Barbarian. It really did.
It looked exactly like it.
Now, it was very clean. It smelled nice. The linens and all that was clean and everything. It was fine. The bed sucked. It was like laying on a slab of concrete. Beds were awful. But the one other thing that it had a basement in it, man. It did. And the basement door was locked. And there was a light on the entire time.
No kidding.
We were there. That basement light was on. So I don't know if somebody was staying down there or I'm not sure, but it was the strangest Airbnb that I have ever stayed at. It's in the ghetto, by the way, too. Like, Cincinnati, I would say 75% of Cincinnati is the fucking ghetto, really. Wouldn't you agree, Uncle Bill?
I don't know about how much a percent of it is, but I know we were in a percent of that. Yeah.
Well,
and
most of it is.
Yeah. I also know that was kind of freaky because, and here's another freaky thing too that was killer about this place. So you went over to the garbage that was outside for some reason. I don't remember what it was. Throw something away.
Yeah.
And there was like a leather jacket, a brand new leather jacket.
It was a denim jacket.
Denim jacket.
Yeah, it looked like something Rikishi would wear when he turned heel. Back in the day.
Like was just thrown away in there. I was like, they've killed somebody. Like
it was like a brand new jacket. Yeah, it was in the garbage.
Yeah, we're dead for sure.
Was there a GIMP mask in there too?
Yeah, he found that. But it was nice. I'm not going to say that place wasn't nice. It was fine. I've stayed in like a hell of a lot worse places. We've stayed in a hell of a lot worse places going to conventions. I mean, some real bad hotels.
Yeah, because I didn't give a shit. I mean, Sarah won't let me stay in those places anymore. She has to look all this shit over. Now, you can't tell from Airbnb what type of neighborhood it's in or anything. But yeah.
I mean,
what it is.
Here's the thing, like I miss the Days Inn and the La Quintas and things like that where you never knew what was going to happen and shit was crazy. But like you said, you can't really do it anymore.
No. But Uncle Bill come down early on Saturday, didn't you? Tell us your side of it. You all got up crazy early to leave.
So yeah, in order to get there at a reasonable time, because we were just coming in for Saturday, and I thought maybe Sunday too, depending on how everything went. But we left at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was about 7:15, something like that, and just drove straight, like no stops, and got there. I don't know what time it was, about 11, almost
Yeah, it was
exactly
a
11, I think.
little after 11. And we kind of fooled around there at the Airbnb for a little bit. Um, we got at the convention, I think, almost 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
Now, man, when we got in there, I thought I was going
we
to.
knew we were fucked though because the parking situation. Like, okay, so we had handicap tags and had to wait. It's like about 15 or 20 minutes just to find like a spot like for
Right,
that.
but we did score a pretty decent parking spot.
Yeah.
Finally.
I was just like, Jesus Christ, there's so many people. Like, I mean, there's no parking. If you were a regular dude, I don't know what the hell you did. I guess you drove over somewhere else and like away from, the convention center and park.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was, I don't know. I don't know what the secondary parking, I mean, I don't know what it was. But man, yeah, I mean, we lucked into a parking spot after a little while. We finally start going in, and Piper was with you, and the fucking guy gave her a fucking big deal. What was the age
So
limit? 13 or something like that?
it's 12. It was 12 and under. 12 and under got in free, and Piper's 12. And so that when you walk in, the dude's like, raise your arm up. I hate shit like this, man. Like, honestly, like, who gives a fuck about people getting into a convention like this? Like, how many people do you think are going to bum rush a horror convention? Really, that's just not something that like happens that much. Maybe a concert, something like that. Not a horror convention. It just doesn't happen. Maybe it happens like 2% of the time. But anyway, like we all walk in, we've all got armbands on and everything, and the guy's like, raise your arm up, and they do this all through the show, which is annoying. I just don't like stuff like that. It's like you're just some dude that like you're like a plumber or something on your off. Like, I know what's going on. You just wanted to do this and you volunteered for it. So fucking
I
leave me
thought the
alone.
volunteers were okay.
They were fine. I just fucking can't
Yeah.
stand stuff like that. Just leave me alone. Go fucking break up a fight. Do something useful. Like, I don't know, checking armbands like you're in a fucking carnival. Just shut up. So, but they made you raise your arms up and everything. And she didn't have an armband on because we didn't buy her an armband because she's
You don't
12.
have to. Yeah.
And 12 and under get in free. And he was like giving her shit. And I'm like, dude, he's like, why didn't she have an armband? I'm like, she's 12. And he's like, well, maybe like maybe get them to believe that or something like that. I'm like, you want to see her birth certificate? Like, what?
You should have brought a birth certificate.
What do you want? Like a fucking library card? Like, she
Yeah,
doesn't
I
have
was
a form of ID.
I was curious because I asked Crater. He was going. We only got to see them very briefly, and I was like, because he's got a son that's around that same age, I think a little bit younger. And I'm like, do they do anything? Like, you say, hey, I've got 12 and under. What do you have to do? And he was like, nothing. Just tell them that they're 12 and under. I was like, okay. But yeah, that guy was like, what the hell?
I've had this
Sherry
experience.
12? Fuck you.
I've had this experience a couple times with people like this, the security or whatever. And it's like, the one big one was last year at the Comic-Con, which made me swear off doing shit like that again for sure for Comic-Cons or anything. Where the guy was like, made me move after I'd been standing there forever and I had to get all the way in the back. Anyway, that guy was a prick. He's like, I'll have to call security down here. And I'm like, buddy, for what? Like, I seriously did get like it's about as pissed as I can possibly get at somebody. And this was just a minor kind of annoyance, but I think those people take that shit way too seriously. I don't know what like the deal is, but
Man, it's funny though. Rob mentions this. He said he saw that walkthrough video and was like, who the hell is this woman that UB is walking around with? And then I felt super old when I saw who it was. Yeah, she is almost as tall as you already, right? She's
yeah,
like
I mean,
close.
her mom is 5'10", 5'11", so I'm assuming that she'll probably be taller than me, like in the very near future. Yeah.
So yeah, I think Garrett was kind of confused by that too. He was like, oh, who's that woman that's hooking up with, he didn't know if that's Savannah or who it was. I was like, no, that was.
Well, there's the
was
thing where
Piper.
me and Savannah and Piper are all walking together and everything. I mean, Yeah, I think Piper looks young, but apparently not. Like apparently she doesn't look 12.
I don't know. I mean, hell. So we get in there, man, and like almost immediately the smell hits. Like is and the crowd, like
The
it's
smell is. I didn't smell a lot except weed, and like really good weed too.
cat piss. I smell cat piss.
Yeah,
You must have walked in at the wrong time because I didn't smell as much BO that I normally tend to smell at conventions like that. Like there's times where I remember standing in line for Nev Campbell when I went to HorrorHound a few years back. And like it sucks when you get stuck in a line and it's that snake line and like you're
yeah.
like that and the person in front of you is I remember there's just people you just can't stand near them because it's like it just activates your fight or flight response.
Your fight or flight response. You
But
start beating the shit out of him. Get away from me.
I didn't smell that much crap this time, but there were
I
a
didn't
couple
either. Like there was a couple that just briefly, like walking by people or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did smell a ton of weed. Like, and I was just like, damn, man, like I don't know, it just made me nostalgic. Like I don't do that stuff anymore, and it's been a long time since I did it, but like it was like potent. It was the smell was like they were smoking it in the damn convention center, which they might have been, but like
They probably were.
it was.
Yeah, they
it
had
was
to
there.
have been. It was pretty
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, they got the vapes.
But when we first got, inside the vendor hall and everything, man, I really couldn't stand it hardly. I was like, God, I mean, there's too many fucking people in here. But we did go around a couple of aisles and we get separated, of course. And then I end up at the Synapse table. I finally found somebody that I knew. And Sarah and I were chit chatting with Don May, and then I think that's where I first saw Matt. He was already there. And I was like, "Oh, I know
Yeah.
that guy too." And then Uncle Bill, you kind of come in a little bit later on, and that's where everybody kind of got back together, I think. And then I guess we kind of stuck together the whole day after that.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah. We that's where we met up was at the Severin table. I had already when I saw you for the first time, you guys, I had already done like I was kind of taking my time over on the right hand side where the Synapse table was, Severin and all that, and I hadn't even looked at any of the whole rest of the aisles to the left and where the celebs were yet. But it was crowded, man. It was definitely crowded. I think it was more crowded, honestly, when I went for the Scream year, whatever year that was, 2021, 22. So this one was crowded, but I didn't have too many run-ins with people on the vendor floor like you tend to do sometimes when there's a lot of people around, people getting in your way and like being just not being polite, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was kind of ready for this though, because the last show that I'd gone to before this was that Comic-Con. And I've never been anywhere near as like pissed and frustrated as I was at that Comic-Con, because there was that many people there, but like there was also a lot of douchey security too. So it was like a combination of that. So I was kind of prepared to walk and run into people and not be able to move and not be able to stop, even though it's aggravating. Like I just kind of knew it was coming. But I do remember walking up and seeing Don May and you, and that was it was a good thing for a couple different reasons. Number one, to see Don May there. Like I didn't know for sure if he'd be there. He's had a lot of health problems. Like I was glad to see him there. And another thing about Don May, that I absolutely love and always have, and this guy's never changed for as long as I've known him, which has been almost 20 years now. He never doesn't say exactly what he's thinking. Like he just, we're asking him questions about like trick or treat and stuff like that, and he just fucking tells you the exact truth about what's going on. And
And we did
It's
receive a scoop of swords, but I think it's more fun to hold it over Slippy's head and just
Well, we
aggravate the
can't-
fuck out of him.
We can't talk about that because they told us.
I ain't
going
going to talk about it. But
Yeah.
what's most fun about it is aggravating his ass that he knows that we know.
I know that is great. Yeah,
So
there's a couple of things, but yeah, but just to let everybody know, you know, and because I knew people would probably ask us this if we ask about trick or treat, because Slippy was there and Dame was there, and we did ask about trick or treat and like when it's going to be out, and nobody has any idea. So
one thing that we did confirm, and I did suspect this too, is that it is all Sleepy's fault that it's late. It's not.
that actually was confirmed.
Yes, that was confirmed.
God's laughing.
He is the reason it's late. So don't blame Synapse, don't blame Jerry or Dawn or any of those guys. It's Sleepy. It's his fault.
I swear to God, I'm sitting here. When I was asking Dame about it, he goes, "Well, my part's done." That's what he said. He was like, he just said it exactly like that. I'm like, yep.
He did.
All right.
I can verify that. He said that.
John Public, it's interesting because I knew we were going to talk about this too.
Yeah,
He said, "Did you notice more normies at the horror con than previous years? People saying stuff like, The Exorcist Believer is the best horror movie I've ever seen."
No, it wasn't normies. It was a whole different crowd, man. Me and you commented on this. Things have changed quite a bit since we went to conventions a lot, I think.
Body odor is one of the only things that hasn't changed.
That stayed the same. But like, in terms of the type of people that are there now, it's like there's a whole mixture of it's a lot of some furries, it's some
A lot of half
cosplay,
naked people.
a lot of like strippers, or people like just dressed like strippers.
There's the obligatory chunky girls in the goth outfits with tattoos all over their tits. They've always been at these shows.
The fishnets. Saw
But
a
it's
couple
like-
fishnets.
It's like a Comic-Con now. Like the
It
crowd
is.
looked like a Comic-Con now with like maybe a few more black t-shirts. That's how I would describe it, really.
Yeah, you always see the classic horror fans there with the like stuff we wear, like the horror movie t-shirts and the deep cuts and the stuff that's not like just Halloween or Michael Myers or whatever. And then you get a lot of the people dressed up as Michael Myers and all that. But you do see a couple once in a while. You'll get surprised and you'll see a cool cosplay or something that like I posted on the Discord that somebody dressed up as that that dude from Tourist Trap.
Oh,
I
saw that picture, which was awesome.
Yeah, it looks funny, but I was like, Tourist Trap cosplay? That's insane. Like you would never think to see.
Well, a lot of people were posting pics of the John Wick.
Well, that had nothing to do with horror, but it was probably the best one that I saw. Like while I was there,
it was really good. Yeah.
Somebody posted
another one
they did
too where
an interview with him.
There was another one too where they were doing Evil Dead and they had like Cheryl from the basement kind of thing, and then like I don't know if you saw that one, but it was like two people were doing that, and as you walk by, like there was like I don't know if that was necessarily a cosplay or if they were set up there doing that. I don't know what the deal
They
was.
were walking around doing that. Yeah.
System, yeah.
Yeah, they had like a fake, like a basement thing, like a big box basically, and she would like crawl out of it and take pictures with people and stuff. It was really cool.
It was badass. Yeah, I got to give them credit, and the makeup was spot on too. Like that's what impressed me really.
So, talking about the convention a little bit though, as far as the setup and how they had everything laid out, what do you guys think of that? Do you think they could have done anything better there, or was it laid out pretty good?
There's nothing they could do. I don't think it just had so many people. Like, I don't think you could lay it out any better. They used like all the room they had, but like there's just so many people that it didn't matter how it was laid out. You're going to run into people.
Yeah.
We're getting questions about Eli Roth already. Boys, we got to build this up.
Yeah, it's fine.
This was the culmination, right? This is the reason that we went, really.
Well, the only other reason, like as we were walking around and stuff, was to talk to Slippy and Dawn May, and we did that, which was fucking hilarious to me. And then to find the vendor tables. That's really what I wanted to do, was to find like the main, because there's every vendor you could imagine was at the show. And we found, as far as I know, we all found Severin. We're going to talk about these probably. We all found Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, Synapse, Unearthed, was Massacre, Trauma.
Terror Vision was there, but I don't ever remember their
TerrorVision.
table. Did you
I
guys
remember
go?
it was next to Traumas, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Scare Flare Records.
Scare Flare Records was there.
A lot of almost all the t-shirt companies that you see popping up on Instagram: Fright Rags, Terror Threads, Paul Bearer Press, a couple others I'm blanking on the names of, but you know, these halftone horror, they were set up in the back.
I will say this: I think as far as vendors go, they had like the best array of vendors and different sort of things that you could ask for at a horror convention. Really, I couldn't think of anybody else that wasn't there that should have been there. Now, I want to talk about
Brad from TerrorVision was not there, as far as I could tell.
No, I think who's the guy? What's his name? I don't know. The guy that runs TerrorVision. I think he was there, but I don't know their names.
So the very first thing I did, by the way, speaking of this conversation in the chat, the very first thing was I found Severin after we went to Synapse, right? And the only thing I wanted to do was find 4 flies and take a picture with it. But by that time, it had already sold out. Like by the time I found the table, like it had sold out.
Yeah, and Cemetery Man was already sold out too, I think, right? That would have been one of the other ones that I probably would have maybe got. Because Severin is I think the only company of the boutique labels that had any kind of deal going on with their titles. The rest of them were pretty much what they are on the website, which is shitty, man. Like, what the hell? I mean, you're at a convention, you want to move some titles. Yeah. I understand the people that go to these conventions are there to blow a shit ton of money. There's no doubt, because you've got Kane Hodder signing autographs for $80 a piece. I just can't fathom that at all. I don't understand that. 80, and a lot of them were 60 to 80. You know, Juliette Lewis was like $100 or something like that.
You know, that's one person I didn't see at all. I don't remember seeing her at all at that show. Like,
I didn't really look for, I mean, she's probably one of those people that blends in quite a bit.
I guess. Yeah.
Short girl. I didn't see her. I don't think I saw her either.
Nor did I hear anybody talk about her really, so that's weird.
Yeah, so the way that they had the celebrities set up and everything, they were all pretty much together. Like they had 2 separate areas for celebrities. They had the upstairs area, which I thought that was kind of weird.
It was, because that seemed to be like I hate to say it this way, but that seemed to be like the upper echelon of the celebrities. Like they put like Eli Roth and, you know, Mick Foley and, you know,
the Raimi brothers.
All those people were in this one room.
And that guy from Halloween Ends was in there with them.
Yeah, which was odd, but I guess they considered him a big dude. And he had
Rohan. He sounds like somebody from fucking Lord of the Rings or something.
And then in the actual area where all the vendors and shit were, like off to the side, they had all the rest of celebrities, which I feel like that's kind of shitty, man. You kind of
you can't fit everybody in that big room.
Wrangling them off.
I would have put like all of the celebrities in one area though. Like to me, that's kind of confusing. I would have at least spread them out. Maybe, I don't know.
Somebody else did that though before too. Was it Ken that did that? He put them all in like their own rooms at one point.
Well, I remember. As far as I know, they always use that big room all the way down to the far right for the really big names, like the Scream people.
Because remember, remember when we met like Roger Corman? He had his own room. Like he was completely like isolated.
He was like the only air conditioned room in that damn hotel.
And there's other people like that too, though, at those shows they used to do that way. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
Now, as far as
Odd.
the presentation, like, who do you think of the boutique labels, which I'm sure a lot of people are here to hear us talk about that shit, had the coolest table or had the most well laid out table and titles and everything, best deals?
I would say real quick, like just out of presentation alone, probably Trauma. And I didn't get anything from them, but they have a hell of a setup there.
I was getting ready to say that too. I hate to say it because like I ain't a huge fan of Uncle Lloyd and all that shit, but like in terms of like what they do, you know, to make it like an interactive experience, that's pretty awesome. So they had like Lloyd Kaufman was back there and you could just like walk up, I guess, if you bought something. I don't know how that worked and, you know, get a picture with him. But then they had like, you know, Sergeant Kabuki Man and the Toxic Avenger and shit like standing around and some strippers and stuff like that. So it's like everything you'd want from a Trauma booth, you got. I thought Synapse's booth was, in terms of like
Synapse had the most titles out there, I think.
Yeah, titles and stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty well said.
I kind of regret not meeting Lloyd Kaufman because I wasn't sure if you had to pay. I don't think you had to pay.
It didn't seem like it. It seems like anybody that was buying shit was just like getting.
Because I mean, I'd get
autograph.
You know, some Toxic Avenger thing signed at least.
When we were leaving, we saw Lloyd Kaufman getting in this little, like, I think it was a Honda Civic, getting in the back seat. Look at him.
They put him in the back. I'm like, there's this dude that's like this legend in independent horror films, and like he's getting into this like clown car that's like, you know, barely, and in the back seat, it's like, come on, man,
he's getting up there in age,
he's like
man.
90. Yeah,
he's getting up there, and he looked old, but he didn't look terrible. He's a thin old guy,
he's
but
in his 80s, has to be, right?
He was vaping something at the table. That's probably the weed smell.
That's probably weed, yeah.
Could have been, yeah.
But I thought Synapse had the best like kind of setup for their titles, and I thought Trauma had the best overall booth.
The most underwhelming booth, it took us a while to find it, was the Vinegar Syndrome booth, I think.
Yeah. What an odd thing that was, man. Yeah.
They were like they were kind of like away from all the other physical media tables, it seemed like. And
it just in the middle of nowhere, like with nothing else around them, no other physical media around them, just a lone island was this one tiny little table with Vinegar Syndrome shit on it. I was like,
no, it was packed full of titles. I mean, they just cram everything on that table that they can. I think it was like 2 tables, but like I said, they don't have any deals going on. They had a couple things that were interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got one of them over here. Yeah.
I got one of them too.
Yeah, you guys can show those off if you want. I mean, whenever, like.
I don't know if I want to.
God.
The guy that was running the booth, like most of the booths were run by multiple people. This is one lone, like socially awkward dude that was running the Vinegar Syndrome.
That's table. Another thing, man. And I hate to say this, but like when you pick whoever's going to be the people that are doing these tables, pick somebody that's got some social skills, please. Like this dude never looked up from his phone. He was playing like some sort of like, you know, one of those phone games like Clash of Titans or some bullshit or Clash of Clans. And he's like looking at it the whole time. And then even when I'm asking him questions and handing him like titles, he's like still looking at it. And then he does his calculations and tells me how much it is. And it's like, come on. Like
I stopped back in on Sunday real quick to go back to their table. And he wasn't even there. And there was just like a crap ton of people looking at stuff at their table. And he was just gone for at least 10 minutes, at least 10, 15.
I feel like that dude was.
And I was like, I could just take a title off the table. And
I don't think he would have cared at all. I don't think he knew where he was, to be honest.
Well, they had the titles that they had, though, they had some stuff that was already sold out. On the site, which is surprising.
This is one of the ones that I got. I'll go ahead and show this off. Went ahead and put it in like a plastic thing. So they had this for $40, which is actually cheaper than it was on the site before it sold out. It was $42, I think, before it sold out.
$2 discount, bulls.
I was like, shit on it, man. Like this has been out of print forever. Like I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. So I bought that, and then I bought this one because I just
They had a
wanted it.
ton of those, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
On
there's a-
Sunday, it seemed like they were pretty much gone, though. Like they might have had one or two,
oh, okay.
but I guess people caught on.
They were there was some stuff that they had already sold out of though by the time I think we asked about Red Rock West, and that guy's like,
Yeah.
nope, sold out, no. And
How'd he go again? Like,
it's sold out.
he really was like that. It was really weird. Like, I mean, I don't know who the guy was. I don't know what his deal was, but
Orbit DVD is going to be at Living Dead weekend in Monroeville.
Cool.
So that's cool.
that's cool. Yeah.
We
But
have
no,
over
man, like,
200 people in here, Uncle Bill. Just wanted to say that and bully everybody into thumbsing up the video or the stream or whatever.
If you are going to a show and Vinegar Syndrome is going to be there, I don't know if they got any left now, like you said, man. If they sold those, I'm sure they do, though, for some reason. They will probably have some like Roadhouse titles there. So
I don't know, man. Like
Pick
I
'em
said,
up.
they had a bunch on Saturday, like when we were looking at them, and I went back in on Sunday and they might have had 3. So it was like, I don't know if they have more, but
there's always more.
I mean, they had a ton of standard like titles that were old too. I had most of them, but like some of their older stuff, like Prey and Dogs and just weird stuff like that they had like a bunch of.
The off topic though, somebody mentioned Orbit DVD.
Or Play Dead, was that it? I said Dogs, but was it the one with the dogs? Play Dead that they had out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Orbit DVD is one of those rare sites that actually has a physical shop, and it's a pretty damn good sized shop in Asheville, North Carolina. So the next time that I go there, which hopefully will be in the next month or two, I want to see if we can't film something there and see if Mark is there. The guy that owns it, and it's run the shop, and like I'm glad that the shop is getting out there and more well known and everything. Because man, let me tell you something. I'll put these guys over. OrbitDVD.com. Especially if you live in the South. Mm-hmm. If you order something from them, that shit is getting mailed out that day or at the latest the very next day, and you will get it within 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
It's the quickest shipping I've ever seen in my life. Like for us, like I don't know how it is for other people, but we get it almost immediately. Like,
yeah, they get a shipping label like a couple hours after you place the order a lot of times.
Yep. So depending on the time of day, like I said, they either ship it out that day or it'll be early the next day. So great place to go, like a secondary site to go if like something's sold out on Vinegar Syndrome side or Severin side or something like that. That's your first place you want to check because they may have, a couple of copies left.
Yeah, you should definitely do like an interview with him or something if you do a video there. Quick 5 minute, that'd be cool.
Sure.
I saw him at which one was it he was at? It's one that Steve went to too. I don't know what show it must have been Scarefest.
Scarefest.
Like, yeah. And he was actually there, but I think somebody mentioned they don't see him anymore. He got diagnosed with cancer, I'm pretty sure. And like, because I've heard some of that from watching some of those videos that he does, but I think that they were able to remove it pretty successfully and he's okay now. But that might explain why he's not at a lot of shows and stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But like that's the place I buy all my imports and stuff. Like if I'm going to buy an imported title, that's where I get it from because it's going to be here immediately. So,
dude, like Diabolic DVD. No offense to those guys or not.
I mean, yeah,
you're going to be waiting a week before anything, like at least a week before anything shipped, and then God bless him, Grindhouse Video. I appreciate that he ordered a whole case of Into the Pit, the documentary and everything, but I'm never ordering anything on that site again. It's slower than fucking Christmas, boys.
It is bad. I still use them sometimes when I can't find stuff. Them and Grindhouse, you can find like a couple do. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. So
we got on a little tirade there.
I went over, like I said, to Severin's Table. That's also where I saw Will for the first time. was around there, and he was Will from the board. I'm not positive that's his name.
The Discord.
Yeah, from
It's
I call it the board.
Another perk to being on Patreon and the YouTube membership. You can get on their Discord, which is like the modern message board.
And what was killer? What was killer about that though? Was I think he was like already drunk, and it was like what, about 2:00 or something like that. It was about 2:30.
He was trying to pressure us into going and drinking with him.
Which I miss those days too. Sometimes, not often now, but sometimes. But yeah. So, and he was cool. He was cool as shit about everything. And talking about, their table, and that there's another guy there. I have no idea who the guy was at the Severn table. I have not a clue. But you have to tell this part of it, because I don't know what exactly happened, but you ask him something about getting an interview or something like that.
Yeah, he's one of the
Matt, I think is his name.
Yeah, he goes out, does a lot of their pop-up stores at various locations and conventions and stuff like that. And I think that we were told that he was kind of fucking with us and I thought so, because he said he had to run, the interview by HR at Severn Films, and I'm like, I was thinking, if there's a really
here's what I don't understand. He say HR or PR?
I think he said HR.
That man, Severn don't have no fucking HR department.
They don't. They don't.
I'll bet you any amount of money they don't have an HR department.
No, they don't. He said, I think Will said that he was kind of fucking with us, and that they did know. They knew who we were.
I'm pretty sure when I first went up there, because I had a DEADPIT radio shirt on, and I was looking at stuff, like that guy gave me kind of like a side glance. I kind of felt like he knew who we were. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of got that too, and I was like, oh man, we love you guys. And I tried to say it really loud so it would pick up on.
Yeah.
Just to be funny. But
David Gregory was not there, though. For anybody that wants to know, he's not coming to fucking horror convention.
He doesn't do conventions. Yeah, he's over in France drinking some wine and eating snails or whatever they do over there. So around this time, man, like it's really hot, and this crowd is fucking killing me. I was like, man, I'm burning the hell up. I need to get some fresh air or something. So I think that at that point's when we go outside for a little bit, right?
Sure. I mean, this story's not going to have any continuity to it. I can't remember everything we did step by step.
Well, I'm trying. And, we run into some people out there as well. And I'm not going to try to name names. I'm bad with that. But yeah, we given some, I don't know if I've got that over. No, I don't have it. But Alpha Romero, he was one that we caught up with briefly, who's one of the patrons, and he's been on the podcast and stuff, talked to him, and just cooled off because it was cool and windy outside, and it felt good to get out of that heat and everything. And by that point, we go back in the main entrance. And was that when we saw Crater briefly?
I think so, yeah, coming back in. Like just for like literally 30 seconds, and he was like, "I got to go do a photo op."
Yeah, and then we see Ken Daniels and Myra from the Fright Night Film Fest, and caught up with them and bullshitted with them for a while.
Talked to them for a long time, yeah.
Yeah, and then at that point,
talked to Ken for a long time. I never did see Myra because she was gone by the time I actually got to talk to Ken.
Okay, yeah, it was me and Sarah that saw Myra, who. Yeah, I mean, we hadn't seen him in a couple of years. Uncle Bill had been many years, I think, since you'd seen him.
Yeah.
So he's bullshitting with him for a while, and we're still trying to figure out a way to get. I think we briefly check out the big celebrity room. Most of the people weren't even in there at that point in time.
No. And that was the weird thing. Like, I guess they're doing whatever Q&As or something else, but like nobody was there. The Raimis weren't there. Eli Roth wasn't there. Mick Foley was sitting there with like his finger up his ass with nobody around his table. The only person that had a line was James Jude Courtney and those fucker like dead meat guys.
Oh
Like,
my God.
I was like,
Honey, I don't know. They were, I
Well-
shit you not. I don't know who, I know who they are because people mention them all the time.
here's the thing though, man, that I noticed since we were there. Like, there's a lot of people in their 20s and stuff that were there, and they got no earthly idea anything about Dead Pit, but they know shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's their Dead Pit. Like, they think that's that started it all. Is that show or whatever?
Electric Entertainment Podcast. Yes, we did. And we talked to him there as well for a little bit. We got some of his cards and stuff.
Yeah, I got one right here.
Yeah. So check out that podcast. After you listen to this, of course. The food court. We hung out there for a while, and I loved the food court just because it was a little, it was a little less crowded. And we got to sit down for a while.
Have a couple burrs.
So we hung out.
Here.
Matt, you're a young man though, so maybe it wouldn't do your stomach like it would do mine. You got a big chili cheese dog of some sort, right? Wasn't that what you got?
It was like a hot dog with like, I don't know if it had pulled pork on it too or something. It had all types of shit on it. It was called the Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
It was good though, man. That was like some home cooked, like that table where they were cooking all that stuff. It was not like your typical cheapo convention center food. It was like home cooked.
Right. They had like soup beans and kraut and shit. Like, what the fuck?
There's some weird like meals, and they had like a smoothie. This is the part that I was like, what the fuck? They had like a smoothie stand, and the smoothies were like $13. And I was, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, all this shit was high. Bottled water was $4.
Savannah and Piper had to get a fucking smoothie that was like $13.
That brewery right across the street from the convention center, they always do like limited special brews for HorrorHound. At least they did it last time, and it was this time too. They had 3 craft beers to pick from, and I got the Blair Witch one, and it was like a marshmallows and graham cracker kind of pale ale. It was really good. I wish I would have tried the other 2, but yeah, those are always there if you like craft beer.
I tell you what it reminded me of though, that whole area, now that I see it reminded me of like being at prom. Like they had like all bunch of round tables with like black, things covering some of them and some of them not. And like, the vibe was very odd, like a very prom-esque kind of. And then this furry walked up to us and was like grabbing our hands and putting our hands in her hands and then just walking away. And it got over to
Sarah, yeah.
I can't even say it. It got over to Sarah and she was like, "No, I told you no already."
This little kid just walked away. Okay.
Yeah. That was so killer. I was like, what the hell is this thing doing? Because she just took your hand in her hand and like rubbed it. And it's probably some 40-year-old dude in that mask or something. Just that was his thing.
I think it was like a kid. I think it was like a 13-year-old kid or something.
You don't know. It could be like, yeah. So a smaller person, let's say.
We kind of stayed down there until it was close to the time we get in line for Eli Roth. They let you get in line like a half an hour or so ahead of time. We ended up, because we would always run into people on the way there and everything, we ended up getting in line maybe 5 minutes early to this photo op thing. And man, this was like the way that they had it set up, which I don't know any better way to do it, I don't guess. But they had lines taped off on this carpet, and everybody, like, there was probably, what would you say, 300 or 400 people waiting in line.
All I know is that when we got in that line, I was like, we are never getting the fuck out of here. Like, there were so many people.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
I was like, this is going to take hours. I literally thought we'd be there for hours. But this is how they do this. And they didn't used to do this, by the way. I've only ever had one other photo op, and that was Jamie Lee Curtis. And in the Jamie Lee Curtis photo op, you actually like got a little bit of interaction with her. because we talked to her for a little bit. That's when she was talking about how weird it was about what we were doing and everything and all that shit. She thought it was like a college frat prank or something like that. We got a chance to really like talk to her. In this, they literally ran you in there and like said, what were they saying? Like go or like something like that, like ready and then and somebody was standing directly in front of you that was like, come on, like that.
Hurry, dummy. Get in here.
So
Hurry.
you walk in, somebody says ready, and then there's somebody like, get out of the way, like that. So we had what approximates to, I would say, 2 minutes, a minute,
maybe,
to do anything or say anything. Yeah.
So I mean, the way it worked is, it was all Eli Roth people, all these lined up right together, and they would shoot them in a line at a time. And man, they were very efficient with the time. I'll give them credit. Like, to get as much done as possible in this period of time and getting those pictures printed out quickly, getting everybody out of there quickly. I was like very impressed with how they got all that done. Now, this is a way different situation from the first photo op that we had. Of course, that was several years earlier. But yeah, you remember we were waiting around for fucking Hill and Ever to get that printed off Jamie Lee Curtis photo, which Crater I think still has. I don't think we ever did get that. Did we get it, Crater? I don't remember. But we get up there, and I'm thinking, dude, this is so fast, we're not going to be able to fucking say anything to him. Like, I mean, it's just like, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. There you go. You're out.
It's okay. Before we talk about what actually happened, though, real quick, when we met him, that is, I can understand why they do that, because if not, why they do that quickly. If not, there's no way that you're getting in and out of that fucking line, man, with that many people. And you would be there for hours. If they gave people time to like talk and stuff like that, like there's no way. There's so many people in that. Like I said, he probably on that alone, if he was charging what you say, like $100, he probably made like, I don't know, $50,000 or something.
This was
like that.
one of 3 different sessions too. He did one session each day.
Yeah. So I understand it. I get it. It's just, that's not for me. Like, why would, other than what we were doing it for, like, why the fuck would you do that? You just run in there and like, you run out in like 2 seconds.
So,
but yeah,
anyway,
go ahead,
we go in there. He immediately says, DEADPIT radio.
I'm wearing the shirt. The first thing he says to you, because I don't think he recognized you, but like he saw your hat and he was like, street trash. Oh, he started talking about street trash, right? And I walked in right behind you and I had the shirt on. You didn't have the shirt on. You just had a jersey, but it didn't say, it was the new design that didn't say anything. And so I had the DEADPIT radio thing. And he goes, it's like it sucked the life out of him or something. He goes, DEADPIT radio. And then I was like, yeah, man, you remember?
He was having flashbacks.
Yeah, it was almost like he was having flashbacks. And he was like, oh. And I got right beside of him, and I could smell, he fucking smelled like Aqua Velva, by the way. People asked me.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. He had on.
Like my papal.
And I was like, buddy, we'd like to get you on the show sometime. I mean, we've been trying to get you on. He was like, yeah, we'll work on that. He was just being almost like a dick, like the way that he said it. Did you think? Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll make it happen.
I don't think he was being a dick. I think what he was trying to do is get us the fuck out of there as quickly as possible. Like, because he didn't want any more conversation. He was like, yeah, we'll set that up or something like that.
Yeah.
And then fucking the handler dude that was like in front of us, like Johnny Bench or something. Fucking
they got the airplane
No
Airport.
shit. Like
Get moving, motherfuckers.
before I'm not joking about this. Before I even had a chance to process what he was saying back to us, there was a little tiny woman in our face going like, "Come on," like screaming, "Come on," at us, like, and doing the hand motions and stuff. So I wish we had more exciting stuff to tell you about that, but that was the interaction. Number
Well,
one, he
honestly-
did know who we were. Number two, I don't think he was thrilled with who we were. Number three, he said he's going to do a show with us, and I'm going to take him up on that.
Well, we'll
You
call him. I could
I'll
call him.
fucking call him. I'll be like, we met you, and you said
Honestly,
you
Go-
would.
you should have went to his table because you would have had a couple minutes to talk to him at his
Well,
table.
that line, man, I don't know if I could have done that. Like it was bad enough standing in that line, but like a line where you actually could talk to him, that would have taken hours, like to get through.
Yeah, I didn't go back in there and see what his line was like when he's actually there. But yeah, when he was
Well-
gone to lunch, it wasn't that bad, but it was still probably a little bit of a wait.
Yeah, man. When I went in there was almost nobody waiting, and I asked the handler guy up at his table that was selling his 8x10s and whatnot. I was like, "Can you like get in line now and wait for him?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can." Like he should be back in about 20, 30 minutes. And that's when I texted you, CK, and was like, "Hey, if you guys are here, you got to get over here now if you're going to get in his signature line because there ain't nobody there." So that would have been your best bet.
So
Hey,
For
real
some-
quick, I just want to tell you in this chat, I don't give a fuck about dead meat. Man, I don't give a fuck about this argument y'all are having about dead meat either.
that's
don't
what I was
know 'em.
thinking.
I don't know them. I don't want to know them. I ain't never going to watch their shit, and I don't care. So you can take that shit somewhere else.
Hey, the thing is that's not our crowd. It's just not.
And I don't have any. I don't one way or another give a fuck.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of their stuff.
I mean,
I have no opinion.
I've heard of him and watched the stuff. I know what type of stuff it is. Hey, it's slickly produced. It looks like something that would be on TV. But that's not for me. You know, that's not, I mean, that's not saying they're not successful. Obviously they are. But who gives a fuck? I don't care. It is what it is. Whoever's successful out there, there's always going to be somebody more successful.
Yeah, I didn't mean this to turn into like the dead meat fucking argument chat or whatever. I could care less about.
Yeah,
any of those people.
It is refreshing to actually see somebody that likes dead meat, though. That's a first.
That is, yeah.
But I mean, there was a lot of them that was waiting in line for him at HorrorHound. So there you go.
I'm old now, man. So I'll probably 20 years ago would have told you that your opinion of like, horror podcasters and streamers fucking sucks ass. But at this point, like whatever you want, like really, genuinely like whatever pointless, useless, vapid
Yeah, I mean, some
horror
people
streams you want.
get off on watching these guys that read shit off Wikipedia. If you enjoy that, go for it.
Yeah, I love them. Big fan. Anyway, so from that we went and got the picture, which is fucking killer in my opinion. And
It did turn out pretty good.
it did.
I
And
gotta
then-
put over the celebrity photo op people though. I mean, that shit, I couldn't believe how fast that shit went. Like it was just, I was like, holy fuck. By the time we walked around that table, there was our photo. Literally 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I was just really impressed with that. Go on. I'm sorry.
Oh, it was. I mean, the whole thing's changed a lot since we did this before, so it was impressive to see technology like work for once. So we go and get the picture. It's awesome. Walk back over, past everything. I'm trying to remember what happened next in like the chronology of all this stuff. At some point, I know, like, I think this might have been around this time. We were like, let's get the fuck out of here and go like get some air somewhere. And then we walk out into the little part between where the main convention is and the doors, and we run into Slippy and Sean Clark like at the same time. And so we talked to them for probably 30, 40 minutes, I would say, something like that. And just bullshit stuff, like nothing really. Like I was busted. We were all busting Slippy's balls about trick or treat and
I
everything else.
definitely, I told him, I was like, we got to get a picture with you guys too, because who knows if we will ever see you again. I'm not planning on going to another convention. That's not to say I never will. I mean, but yeah, like for instance, Sean and Sleepy, neither one of those guys go to Scarefest. I don't think, right?
Yeah.
They're never
No,
there at that show.
I don't. No, that's not true. I saw Sean last year at Scarefest. He was there with those 9-inch
Nine-inch
killers. What are they?
Ice Nine
Ice
kills.
9 kills. Yeah, guy.
Right.
So yeah, he was there. I didn't get a chance to talk to him though. I did talk to him. Here's the thing about Sean Clark, and I will defend Sean Clark to the death because Sean Clark is honest. I don't really require much of anything from him. Just be fucking like honest and straightforward and like say what you really mean. And the guy, like, you can say whatever you want to about him. He's got a whole base of fans of people. We were just standing there and 4 or 5 people came up to him and just wanted like a picture or like autograph, something like that. He's a genuine dude. He's no bullshit. He doesn't like mince words. He tells you exactly what he feels about everything. You'll not hear me talk any shit about Sean Clark. I just don't.
Well, and he's always been very supportive of us. And back in the day, like a lot of those interviews that we got was because of him. He was hooking us up with contact info for these people and everything. And I've never had an issue with him. I know that like there was some sort of big controversy with something that happened at the H45 show. I don't know about that. I didn't see any of that shit. But he's always been a stand-up dude to us. So I have
Here's the thing. Don't ever talk politics with anybody. What in the fuck are y'all doing? Like, that's number one rule. Like, why would you talk politics with somebody? You're like at a horror convention of all places. Don't ever do that.
Right.
Yeah, he was cool. That was my first time meeting him in person. I've seen him peacocking around a couple times at other conventions, but I never got to actually sit there and talk with him for a few minutes. So that's when I met back up with you guys. You were chilling with him and Slippy, so I got to meet, Sean and talk to him, talking about a bunch of cool shit, talking about Mike Flanagan and stuff like that, which he said he might have Mike Flanagan come over to his house. And I told him, dude, you got to get a video, you and Mike Flanagan at your house.
Yeah, he's a big prop collector as well.
Yeah.
I think Flanagan is. So
that'd be a killer video.
But yeah,
some of the amount of money they were talking about laying down for these props, I was just like, Jesus,
it's just not even funny. It's like,
it would be amazing to have that kind of fuck you money where you could just be like throwing away that. I won't name the amounts, but like that amount of money, like on whatever, a rifle from Dawn of the Dead or something,
Well, you got to think though, this guy's got that Walking Dead Norman Reedus money at his disposal, so it's kind of like, well, I mean, he's got everything paid for, so it's not like he has a house payment or a car payment or anything.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But I was talking to him though too. This is interesting because I'm like, dude, you've got to be running out of room at this point. He's like, yeah, I'm out of room. I think he put stuff in storage buildings and garages and shit too. So anybody can run out of room.
Yeah. But Sean Clark was cool as hell. Slippy was cool as hell. We were busting his balls, and that we just do that. And
Two scoops. That's his new gimmick.
2 scoops. Yeah. And so we did that for a while. Then we went back in. I think. Shit, man, I can't remember the order of all this stuff. I think that's when we went over to like maybe Unearthed or some of the other vendors. We ended up there at some point. But anyway, real quick, I'll show like this that I got.
We did the walk through around this time, I think, when it was slowing down. We could actually walk through the convention.
I got this from Synapse at some point. I couldn't tell you exactly when. That is the only one of their things that I don't own. So
I didn't buy any movies.
He tried talking me into the convent, and I was like, I don't think I want it.
Yeah, I had to. I own all the other stuff that they had, I think.
I didn't buy any movies at all. We ended up getting a couple of shirts, and I didn't have a Synapse shirt, so I picked this one up.
Oh, that's killer. I didn't even see that there.
I didn't see that either.
I must not been paying attention. I think it was up in the back of their booth.
Yeah, that's badass though. At some point, I did go over to Tear Threads. That's where I got this, which is a Tourist Trap shirt.
Dude, we got to put Tear Threads prices over as well.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Had I known that, I probably would have bought more stuff. But Sarah picked out. Now, Sarah's not a big horror fan, but the stuff that I've shown her, this is one of her favorite movies, believe it or not.
Oh.
And if my screen ever comes back on here, I'll show you guys.
Necromantic.
Yeah, that really does it for her. Oh, I think it's completely gone, Bulls.
Ichi the Killer, here it comes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
Climax.
I don't think it's coming back.
There we
There it
go. It's like the clapper. Clap on, clap on. Yeah. All right, and this one is pretty badass. We watched this. I think we watched all three. Well, the three movies. The Psycho. Look at that. Now, how fucking cool is that?
That's a cool shirt.
I got a shirt too. What the hell? I'll show it off. This one, I had no idea, wasn't even like out. This was from Fright Rags. I'm looking at it and I'm going, when did they do that? Turns out it didn't actually officially come out until like just a day or two ago, and they put it on their site, but they had it at the con early. And that's The Exorcist 3.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought that was a badass shirt too when I saw it. It's great. It's actually really good quality.
They're nice, soft shirts.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not walking away without that.
Here's the weird thing about them, man. They're like the most expensive one online of any of them, but like at this show, they were like $25. So
this was Fright Rags, I think. I don't know.
Was that Fright Rags?
Yeah,
I was talking about Tear Threads.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this was like 30.
Yep.
But I mean, you're not paying shipping or taxes or anything like that. So
I bought a ton of shit. I'll just go ahead and tell you from Tear Threads. This one I got for Savannah because she wanted this one. It's the House of 1,000 Corpses, like
3D style.
3D, yeah, baseball shirt style.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
One of those companies had some new House of 1,000 Corpses shirts that are really cool too. It might be Fright Rags. I can't recall. As I'm getting ready to do a dance again.
Oh,
Clap on.
Well, here, I'll show off the rest of these shirts while I'm fucking waiting on your shit to come back on. I got this one too because I thought it was killer, so I don't really give a fuck. I'm a mark for this movie. The House of 1,000 Corpses one they had.
That may be the one I was thinking of. Which site was that? Fright Rags?
No, this is still all this stuff's Tear Threads.
Oh, Tear Threads. Okay.
And this is probably my favorite other than the Tourist Trap. The Sleepaway Camp design that they had.
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, I would definitely recommend not putting them in the dryer. I would hang dry them because I do notice that these thin shirts tend to shrink a bit. I don't know, like they put their own tags on them, so you don't really know what brand it is. But I'm always real careful with these because they shrink a little bit. But I would always just recommend hang drying them.
They ain't Walmart shirts, boys. I'll tell you that.
Well, Walmart shirts get away with it because they're only like $5.
Yeah, those are terrible Walmart stuff. I've just given away those shirts in the past because they're so thin and they always fit totally wrong after you wash them.
So we've got 220 people in this chat right now and watching this. Pretty crazy. The convention stuff people like hearing about, Uncle Bill. So it's almost seeming to me like we're going to have to do some more of these conventions just so we can talk about it.
Well, let's do one for Living Dead weekend for sure. You got a little while before that one.
Oh, he'll definitely do one for that because that's going to be a whole. You should really record a lot of that stuff that you do there.
Yeah, I'll probably get that one too.
I mean, when you go to Monroeville and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think the plan is that we are going to hit up. I'm hoping it'll be around that time of the convention. But yeah, definitely I've heard rumors that the mall may be closing at some point. Um, and people have been talking about that for years, I guess. But it's inevitable at some point that mall will close. Malls are just fucking like dying off, and I have to visit that mall before it closes. That's my thing.
You gonna get into the hall now, Uncle Bill?
Yeah, might as well.
You got or CK? I don't know what you got.
That's all I got was the shirts. I didn't buy any.
Okay.
I didn't buy any movies.
I got a
the only other movie that I bought, man, was this one from Unearthed because I'd heard a lot about it, wanted to get it. Evil Dead Crap. And I already watched it. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Just waiting to tell you.
Yeah, the owner at he was the one that was working the table. Steven, I think is his name at Unearthed. And I had asked him because I've kind of been like searching, but I can't find a good deal on those guinea pig movies, that box set, right? So I was like, and Unearthed is the one that did that back almost 20 years ago. And he didn't give me the details on it, but it was like those movies can never be re-released, is what he was saying. I don't know what the deal is with it.
I've got to find that box set, man. It's got to happen.
You're going to give it to me for my birthday, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
If I find it, I sure am.
Yeah.
The only movie I got, which I was surprised, I was like looking at my stuff. I only got one movie the entire time, was at Synapse, and it's this Black Circle, which I've been hearing about for some time now. What, you don't like it? Is it not good?
I'm not going to say it's not good, but it's very
bad.
It's not a movie that I would watch again. I'll just say that.
Okay.
I mean, you might like it if you smoke you a joint or something before you're watching it. You could probably really get into it.
You smoke weed, man. If you do, probably now's the time to do it.
I'll do it right before I pop this on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, it was there, so whatever. I'll check it out eventually. Put it in the pile.
The only other, a couple of things. You bought something from them too. And I think there were a couple of prints you bought, Matt. But I just got this Miss 45 because it's freaking awesome. This Miss 45 magnet.
Yeah.
And this was like original art.
Putting that on a kitchen fridge.
I am actually with the rest of my magnet collection.
Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to that guy because that guy, man, I've seen him at other conventions. And he's like one of the only people, him and his wife, I think it is, that do like Italian horror movies. Like you never see merch or art for like other Italian stuff at many of the other vendors. This guy does that a lot. It's the art of Donald England. And there's a card there for his stuff.
His stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the best stuff I've seen like that.
He's got t-shirts, art, and these I had never seen those tall these things. I'll show you. There's my Miss 45.
Yeah, that's a bigger version of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Angel of Vengeance. And it's I don't know what the 6x13, and it's like a cardboard, thing. It'll look nice in a frame. And they're $10. Like Christ, you can't beat that. And then
can't beat that, no.
Hell, when I saw this, man, I was like, that's coming home with me.
Stage fright, yeah.
Stage fright. On the bottom, it says, between the eyes, got him. I got him right between the eyes. This is Theater of Death. This is absolutely killer. So I'm really looking forward to having these framed up next to each other. But this guy's stuff, man, follow him on Instagram and check out his stuff because he's got all those cool magnets. But these were like probably some of maybe my favorite thing that I got at the entire convention.
Those are really cool. They go together too.
$10.
Dick Fitzwell, who's been a member of the YouTube page for 7 months. Happy anniversary, brother. How did Natasha Henstridge look to you guys? Did you guys ever see her?
I never saw her.
I didn't see her either, I don't think.
Ever saw her
I
one
think
time.
a lot of that is because we only went up to that room once, and I didn't really go back. I think she was up there in that room, the upper room.
She's moving on up.
Yeah.
What else? You got something else? Because I got stuff. I need
You might as well go ahead, Matt.
Matt's bought all kinds
All right.
of shit.
I did. So I got a little. So I've had this pillow on the couch for a while. The keep repeating it's only a movie from Last House, and these are kind of neat. I think Garrett has this. That's where I first saw it. Was in the background one of his videos.
Well, Garrett has about everything.
He does, but I saw this, and you'll see. I had to get this. It's another little pillow. It's his Giallo pillow.
It's a killer idea.
Like, yeah, it's just literally just yellow, and it has a bunch of the Italian posters in between there. Lots of cool ones. So it's just a nice little thing to have on your couch or
It is
whatever.
really cool. Yeah, I like that.
Can't remember the table or the people that had this, but they had a couple other movie poster pillows, and so that'll go great on the table there. I'll show this off real quick. This was free. This was free at the Synapse table, man.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think you should have picked one of these up. They told me it was free if you bought a copy of the 4K, and I told the lady, I was like, well, I mean, I have a copy. I bought the 4K when it came out, and she was like, let me text Don May and see what because I was like, just how much you want for one, and she was like, oh, he said just give it to him. So I was like, okay. So it's this giant Tenebrae poster.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the
Japanese or something.
foreign art, yeah, but it's a decent size. Like
that is pretty cool. It looks like it's kind of thick too, right?
It's not real thick, but it's like a good.
Yeah, I can just tell by the noise it's making.
Yeah.
It's not like a glossy thin poster.
Yeah. So I love this artwork, man. That's my background on my phone and everything, and I was like, oh, I need that. So I had never seen Synapse have this, so that was free. So that's the best deal.
You can't get better than free.
No.
Free these days at horror conventions is just that's not a thing hardly anymore.
Yeah.
The thing that I noticed though overall is just, and this is why conventions, at least the way that the reason I used to go to conventions, why I was the autographs and meeting people and stuff like that. And essentially, man, like, unless you just want to blow a fucking ton of money, what's the point? Like $80, $60, $80, $100 is a signature, and then you got to pay more to take a photo with them. I have no interest in doing that. I just don't.
Really, the only point nowadays is just to go down there and talk to people and, buy stuff if you don't have it from vendors. That's the only thing I see. I mean, it's just the experience of doing it, really.
Well, and I can see like vendors and networking, get your name out there and stuff. I couldn't think of a better way if you're starting a company and selling a product of some sort. Get a damn booth at one of these shows.
There's probably a lot of people that still do the autograph and picture thing and stuff like that, like on a regular. But man, we did that for years. Like, I don't think who would we get at this point, like that we would want.
There's two people, and I told you guys this there, and I would go and probably go all out if Hulk Hogan was to do one of these shows. Like that's in Cincinnati or Lexington or something like that. Dario Argento would be the other one. Now that's probably never going to happen.
I just know he's never going to do one though. Now,
but I would go all out for him as well, like a photo op and autograph and all that shit.
Argento or Sergio Martino, I would say definitely. They got one of the guys at the Synapse table, and I can't remember his name. Talked to him. He recognized my shirt. I was wearing your Vice is a locked room and only I have the key. And he was like marking out over the shirt. And I was like, yeah, like that's like my jam, like the Giallo stuff. And he was telling me how he's got he met, because Sergio did I don't know, it might've been Cinema Wasteland a long time ago. And he met him and got his one sheet of torso signed and showed me a picture of it and shit. And I was like, man, the Argento or Martino, that would be, I would drive quite a long distance, or I would travel probably to be able to do that. But they're getting on, they're so old, man. It's like,
If
it's hard to say.
Like some 80-year-old dude coming over from Italy, you know what I mean? Like,
HorrorHound would be the group that would do it, though. If anybody was going to do it in the United States, it would be HorrorHound that would get him. So,
I can't think of anybody else, though, to be honest. Like, everybody else is dead or we've got them, so I don't know. But
I need a new TV, boys. Let's take donations.
We need to.
Deodato, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Does Hogan charge $500 for an autograph?
No, I don't think so.
What else did you get, Bill?
I didn't get anything. Well,
That's it.
I got this at a half price books. I wanted to ask y'all because I know Alfa Romero is probably in here. I've never seen this before. I had to buy it. It has nothing to do with anything, but it's a DVD set called Trilogy of the Dead, and it has Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead on it. And I've never seen that together like that.
What company made that?
Dude, it's Paramount is listed on the back of it, or the Paramount label is listed on the back of it.
Is it a foreign release?
Foreign release, and it looks like it's in Finnish, like Swedish, one of those two.
And they had it in half price books.
Yeah. And I looked at Danish, Finnish, Norwegian subtitles. So it's one of those. I just have never seen like those three movies together. It was such a weird thing because in the States, I don't think that they can do that. I don't think they can put those movies together like that, or they never have to my knowledge.
No.
And it's got like the European cut. We're talking about, this is a long time ago. It's got the European cut of Dawn of the Dead on it too, which
Dawn of the Dead
is weird for this time period too. Came out in 2004. So I have no idea, but I just picked it up and also picked this up for $8.
Oh shit! I got that right under the table here.
Yep. The Ultimate Guide to Zombie movie.
The Ultimate Guide to Zombies. Well, you all know that May of the Dead's coming up here in a little over a month. That's going to be exciting.
I got 2 records at the convention. This one's from Scareflare Records, and cool guy. Talked to him for a few minutes, and this is a great price on this too. It's the Faux Flies on Gray Velvet.
Oh yeah, that was killer.
$30, and I haven't opened it yet, but I think it says it's silver with some kind of a fly etching on one of the records, on the back of one of the records. So I'm, you know me, I like the giallo. So, and this is Ennio Morricone. So it is really a killer soundtrack. You were saying too, we were talking about it at the convention, and it's just as good as any of the other bigger giallo title soundtracks. But I was kind of pumped to see that. And then it's ironically, we were just talking about this one not too long ago. Savage Streets.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you got that.
Yeah, dude, I got this probably on Sunday, I think.
That's a killer soundtrack. Even if you've never seen the movie, it's a fucking killer soundtrack.
I had talked about when you guys did the stream about the Exploit Nation. Like, I had seen this a long time ago, the soundtrack, and for some unknown reason, I passed it up. And I never had seen it ever again. And the weird thing is, it was also a promotional copy. This is a promo copy.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time I saw it, like, God, a long time ago, it was another promo copy. So I feel like these promos are floating around out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
So, Wet Movie, what is it with Linda Blair, by the way?
Oh, man, yeah.
Like, what the fuck happened with Linda
Blair? He has
Blair?
never had a good experience meeting Linda Blair.
A lot of people haven't, apparently. You got to watch his video he uploaded today. He was giving her the telling the truth. She sounds like a stuck-up person, man.
We must have met her on a good
Yeah.
day.
But
I don't know. That was a while ago, though.
That has been a long time ago, and the promoter kind of like told her like who we were at that time, and she signed our stuff for free. So I don't know if maybe like she was being nicer to us because she thought we were a big deal. I have no idea. He can eat my ass. So I don't know. Like, but by the way, if you ever meet, I don't know, have you met Linda Blair, Matt?
No. And after hearing about, I don't know if I would. I mean,
I was gonna say if you ever do though, that's the perfect thing to get signed. The way that album is set up is like perfect for a signature.
According to him, there was like a Q&A at one of these shows that he went to with her,
right in
where
here.
she at the beginning of the Q&A, she was like, "Just to let you guys know, there's no Exorcist questions or anything on this Q&A."
It's like, get out of here, go home.
Yeah.
Like that stuff irks me so much, dude. It's like, what are you doing here? Like, and it's almost disrespectful to the movie, to Friedkin in a way. Even it's like how are you not going to talk about? I mean, did she have such a bad time with that? I mean, I know there was creepy people for a while, you know, with her fans and shit, but you're not going to come to a horror convention and say, I'm not going to talk about what everybody knows me from and what the most classic horror film. Like, get out of here with that shit.
I feel like she just probably just doesn't want to talk about The Exorcist anymore, which is odd because that's the one thing
that she'll always be known for.
Yeah, will be known for forever.
Well, embrace it. You know what I mean? Like, my God, these people are paying you.
Get her to sign her nude scene from Savage Streets. That'd be killer.
I wonder what she'd do if you brought that up.
Probably
there.
kick you in the nuts or something.
Sick her dogs on you.
He gets you
That's
thrown
another
out.
thing too. She only ever wants to talk about like dog rights and stuff. So, you know,
that's stupid, man.
Puppy genocide, whatever she's going on about all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we left, got something to eat. I think Popper was really feeling the Olive Garden, and I was like, that sounds pretty good. So, and then, you know, thought about maybe coming back on the next day, but I just don't think I could physically have done it. I had my feel for HorrorHound weekend all in one day, and
it's a lot of walking. A lot of walking, man. My legs at the end of that night, there's no way I could have went to that after party thing. I was so beat. Like my ankles were hurting.
Yeah, and you're like fucking a young man. You're way younger than us.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what a desk job does to you. That too. So, I mean, I was like not used to doing that much walking. Like I don't do that very often. Unfortunately, I need to, but it was, man, it was rough.
It was a lot of standing and walking.
Yeah.
You know,
I really enjoyed it though. Like I had a really good time. Like it's everything I wanted to do in that day got done, and I met like pretty much everybody except Crater. I mean, I wanted to talk to Crater, but he just fucking disappeared like Houdini or something there at the end. But everybody else, like we got to talk to him, we got to meet whoever we wanted to do with the Eli Roth thing. I got to go to all the vendors that I wanted to go to. Like overall, aside from it being packed as shit, which is just the way that those are now, like it was a really good time, I thought.
I really didn't mind it. I think that, you know, we went to the show in the busiest time of the day at first. So once it kind of cleared out a little bit, you know, I had fun with it. It's fine. You know, as far as the vendors and stuff goes, I don't think any other show has, you know, just the quality amount and just tons and tons of vendors like HorrorHound does. So I'll definitely put them over for that. The photo op thing, I was very impressed with how that was handled quickly. You know, it seemed like it was going to be forever at first. Eli Roth, we finally come face to face with him. It was brief, but I think it was memorable.
We will follow up with that too. I mean, we will try to get him.
You have to.
Yeah.
And do it soon because he'll remember. He'll say, oh, yeah.
But, you know, yeah. Yeah, I hope so. He probably will remember that though. One thing that Crater mentioned too, that this is the first show that I've really done with like any of like with Piper. Like a big show like this. Like she went to Scarefest once or twice, but she was scared shitless. Like like there was one year she went and like there was these people that were sliding up to you, like these clowns that
Yeah.
had knee pads on, and they would slide up to you and like get right in your face.
I remember
And
they
it
used to
just
do that. Oh
freaked her the
God.
fuck out, like, and she just never really get. But last couple of years, she's had like a greater interest in it, and this was the first show that I really like. She's old enough and likes those movies, and like got to go with her and stuff. And I'd spent a huge amount of money buying stuff, for her as well as like the other stuff too. But I think that'll be a big part of the reason why I go back to cons and stuff too, is if she enjoys going to them. And I mean, that's just something that we can do together. Like that's something my dad and I did together. We went to a con together. I've got pictures of him with Galen Ross. I've got pictures of him with Jeffrey Combs. It's just, like Hank Williams said, it's a family tradition.
There you go. But yeah, I guess that is it. Did you have anything else, Matt, that you wanted to mention or show on here or anything?
I don't know if you want me to do it on here, but I got a decent package from T-shirt Joe.
Oh yeah.
Do you want me to show that?
We definitely want to see. Let's see if
Yeah.
we can showcase you a
curious,
little bit on here. Let's
Sure.
see.
I mean, everybody knows T-shirt Joe from DEADPIT mainly, but he's done conventions for a long, long time. And I saw him at a convention in Pittsburgh not too long ago, and talked to him for a little bit. And I went on his site, fastcustomshirts.com. You got to go on there, like you guys were talking about it, or me and CK were talking about it. He has so many designs on that site. You'll be on there for 30 minutes clicking through pages and pages of stuff. So it's hard not to walk away, without
What's his price nowadays, Matt? Is he still $10 or did he go up?
For shirts at a con?
At conventions. I think the prices went up a little bit.
I think it's like maybe 15. I didn't get anything at the convention. I can't say, don't quote me on that. You have to ask him, but it wasn't 10, I don't think. It was under 20, I'm pretty sure.
I wish it was still 10.
Under 20. Yeah. But his prices on the site are still like under 20 for a lot of them. So, but I ordered a bunch of like a good handful of shirts from him, and then he told me that he put some extras in here, and I don't know what they are. So I'll show them off real quick before we get off here. And then this is my chance to show off. After the convention, I went to Trader's World in Ohio, which is a ginormous indoor flea market. I don't know if you guys saw that on the Discord, but
yeah, I saw you post about it.
Just Google that place. Google Trader's World, Ohio. It would take you every bit of 3 or 4 hours if you wanted to look at everything. It's so massive. But the one thing I got there was this knife. And when you see the blade on it, you'll know why. But it's very satisfying. It shoots out of there like that. But
that's dangerous, boss.
It's so sharp, dude. But what's that blade look like to you? It remind you of something?
Oh yeah, the Lament configuration box.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it looks scarily similar to the design on the Hellraiser box, but yeah, it's dangerous. Super sharp though, so let's break it in with some t-shirts, I guess.
You've gone full on like 80s gang member now, Matt. Like you're gonna pull a switchblade on somebody.
I know. Hellraiser. All right. Boom. It's quick. It's so like fast too. It just like shoots out of there. Oh shit. I already see one that I did not order that's an extra. That's killer, dude.
Yeah, he throws extras in there from time to time. Joe does.
All right, numero uno.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I love that.
That's
Hell
badass.
dude. Yeah, this
Yeah.
was not one that I ordered, so that's a freebie right there. That's killer.
That's very
Oh
cool.
yeah, and they're good quality shirts, guys. It's not these are-
Fastcustomshirts.com. Yeah, they're thick shirts. They
Yep.
stand up to the test of time because me and Uncle Bill both still have 10-year-old shirts or older.
yeah, good screen print quality. I want to try and do it without looking here. So this one I did order for obvious reasons.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
We've got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had
Yeah.
this. He usually has this at conventions.
If I'm not mistaken, I may have helped him with the design on that one back in the day.
These are Gildan heavy cotton. Some Alpha or somebody was asking. They're good quality. I mean, they shrink a little bit, but it's like a good fit. This one I did purchase this one. Black Christmas.
Yeah, that one's very cool too. It's iconic.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. I think that's the VHS. What's it called? The lettering on
The
there.
logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or one alternate.
There was so many alternate names for that movie, and one of the coolest things, I think Uncle Bill has this. I may have it. I think Uncle Bill has it. What was the deal where they changed the name of it after the poster was already made, and they had like a little section of the poster that you could put over the logo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was... Yeah, it was like Silent Night, Evil Night or something like that.
You can still come across those online once in a while. I've seen them.
Stuff like that I love. That was the shit that I like to like try to find and collect.
Yeah, when it originally came out, there was it's literally like the poster, and it says, I think it says on the poster, it says Silent
Night, Evil Night
Silent
or
Night,
something
Evil
like
Night.
that.
It does.
then
Yeah, I've got that poster over.
Yeah, and then it comes with an extra piece
It's
of
like an
paper.
insert or something that you put over it that says Black Christmas.
Yeah, that's a
And it was in black and white or something, right? It looked like really cheaply made, like that part of it was. So
yeah. What do we got here? Oh yes, I purchased this one as well. This is one of the ones I picked. Angel.
yeah.
I was shocked to see this on there. That was like, this tells you what kind of, deep cuts he has on there. Because I was like, absolutely. I love this movie. Vinegar Syndrome put it out.
It's out right now. Yeah. Again.
He still has DEADPIT stuff on there too, like old school DEADPIT merchandise as well, like the original shirt that we had back in the day.
Yeah. Angel's great. I don't care what anybody says. I like all three. I think there's technically a fourth one, but the first two at least are awesome. And the first one is like it's serious, but it's more like tongue in cheek kind of. And then the second one is like an all out exploitation comedy almost. But those are great.
They have a 4K of that out now, right?
This is a
This
secret
must be
one.
a new one.
This is a secret one, man. He picked the best ones, man, to throw in here that I didn't choose, but
That's killer.
Pee-wee. It's Pee-wee Herman.
Garrett would approve of that one.
Garrett would wear
Garrett's
that.
probably
I'll
still
tell
in
you.
here. Yeah, that's hilarious, dude. Oh man, shout out to T-shirt Joe because that's killer.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
He hooked you up with those now for sure.
I got more.
But wait, there's more.
This one, Garrett will appreciate this. I hope Garrett's still in here. I picked this one. This is an underrated movie.
Looker.
I never heard that.
Oh man, you guys would like it. I'm not going to try to describe it off the top of my head, but it's very good. Like, I think it's free on Tubi. Great music, great use of like special effects with like time warping, kind of like slowing down, freezing time, and
What year did you say that was? How old is it?
Lookers from 81. Great music.
It almost sounds like something I may have seen before, but I'm not.
How the hell would I have missed that? Really?
Dad, please look it up because you will enjoy this movie. I can almost guarantee.
Who has that one out on Blu-ray, or is it on DVD only, or what?
I don't think it has a Blu-ray.
Oh fuck! Everybody wish CK a happy birthday. It's midnight.
I'm 29 again, boys.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Thank you.
Looker has a Warner Archive Blu-ray, so it's basically an official bootleg, which is what those are. But yeah, Looker's killer, guys. Everybody check out this movie. This is great. And happy birthday, CK. I don't mean to steal your thunder.
No, you're fine. People can
very-
send me PayPal donations and all that for a new computer monitor.
He needs a monitor badly.
Here's the last one. And what an ironic last one. It's the DEADPIT
That's fucking killer.
tie-dye shirt.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So what color tie-dye is that one now? Because he's got different colors.
So, the one I wanted was like some kind of green color. It's not the bright green one, but it was like a different shade. And I told him that's the one I wanted. And he said, unfortunately, like they weren't available in that color anymore. So I think this is like a silver kind of a thing. But yeah, so I told him at the convention I would pick this up online, and I was true to my word. So there's the.
That is very cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to get her out. We don't even have that shirt yet. So
he said nobody really bought it. I swear to God, he was like, nobody touched those.
I think it's a pretty damn good looking design though, too. Like I'm kind of surprised. Yeah.
Especially in like the other color, the greens and stuff too.
Yeah, he's got other colors, and I'm not like, obviously all these are black shirts, so I'm more of a darker color shirt person, but he's got at least 5 other colors of this available. The bright green one is on there too, but so there's your birthday present.
Sweet.
That's cute. As the super chats roll in for your birthday, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bog Zombie, $10 super chat. Appreciate it, man. And our boy Rambo Raff, $5 super chat. Thanks for the good times and fun memories. Well, hopefully plenty more. Right. I don't want to die or anything anytime soon.
That's a killer thing saying your birthday. I don't want to die. Like, keep this going.
But yeah. Crater. We got all kinds of people still. Over 210 people still in here past midnight. So people really interested in the convention thing and just hearing the Eli Roth story. It was like a 15-year culmination, really, that we never thought that, honestly, I never ever thought we'd meet Eli Roth ever.
I didn't either.
And it happened.
Never even crossed my mind. Yeah.
But guys, I guess that is it. It's a work night. It is. We're going to pass out and get to work tomorrow and everything. But we appreciate everybody tuning in and all that. The next show that we have planned coming up. Have you got anything on your channel, Matt? You're starting to put some stuff up. I guess I should.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not like a regular uploader or anything. Like I always say, you can check me out on Instagram at Phantasmat, but I don't really have anything to promote. I did a video on the new Possessor 4K. And it was funny because like I did it and then Uncle Bill right away like uploaded his version.
Sorry about that.
No, your version was better than mine, but I do have a review of the Possessor 4K, which is definitely one of the releases of the year, top releases.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that it's up there. Yeah,
I've said this to everybody I can think of. Like that movie gets better like every time I watch it. Like you got to watch it multiple times.
You do
to really like figure out everything that's going on in it. It's a great It's a great
So
movie.
yeah, first solo review Uncle Bill's done in a long time up there
Yeah,
on the
I thought
YouTube
that
page.
too. Yeah, like you should do more of
And
those.
yeah,
I should do more.
I think he's going to do some more. But I've got a review coming up of the other second sight release that came out this past week, Green Room. That one is dropping tomorrow. Patrons get in on it a little bit early if you want to check it out. DEADPIT on Patreon.com. There you go.
Yep. Hey, do you want to take Raider up on this real quick? Go to Bluegrass Wrestling Con, let Sam Man beat us over the head with a cane.
Sure. That sounds like a lot of fun. The next thing that we've got planned, though, is coming up on Friday night, Uncle Bill. You want to tell? Tell him, Uncle Bill.
What, the next thing that we got planned?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even know. What is the next thing we got
Commentary.
planned? On Friday.
Commentary.
You asked the wrong person for shit like that because I don't have any memory for what the hell we do.
We were requested to do the Dead Pit commentary for the movie.
Oh, the movie, The Dead Pit. Yeah, I forgot about that. Which I have not seen that movie in. Whenever that Code Red DVD came out, man.
That's the last time I saw it, too. I won't have to dig out my Code Red DVD because I never did buy it on Blu-ray or anything.
I've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
I'll try and watch it for the commentary at least, but
yeah.
Born to be Rad Man with a
$19.99
$19.99 super chat. Thank you, sir.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it. I want to definitely get me a new monitor now. I should be able to at least get a cheap one at Walmart.
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so very cool.
You're going to be in Walmart tomorrow with all this super chat money getting a new.
Yeah.
He's a big spender. He's not a pretender.
Speaking of Born to be Rad, though, we got a big show coming up on Sunday. It's the first one of these that we've done in over a year. And there's a lot of titles to talk about, man. There's like 90 plus titles for Scream Factory Year 7. Easter Sunday special.
Yeah.
We don't believe in eating ham and deviled eggs and shit. We believe in talking about movies. Scream Factory titles.
I thought Easter Sunday was supposed to be the Salo commentary.
It was, yeah. But
yeah, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen that way.
That was going to be Christmas, I think. Christmas Day.
Eat shit for Christmas. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Pudding.
That's coming. Brownies. One of these days, that's coming.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be a fun show too. Garrett and Garrett from Born to be Rad and Pop is making his long-awaited return. Pop's Movie Dungeon. So that'll be fun as well. I'm looking forward to that. And a bunch of other stuff coming. May of the Dead's coming up. We may have some interviews lined up as well. Some other folks possibly in the physical media industry. That's all we can say at this point.
One of these days, though, we'll figure out. We'll get Slippy back on and just absolutely berate him about this shit.
With at DEADPIT on Venmo.
Yeah, give him money.
Yeah, give me 20.
Give me 20.
I'm gonna get me a new monitor.
20.
Yeah, penny short. I definitely appreciate all the super chats and everything. But I hope everybody has a good night. I am going to bed. So you guys, always good talking to you and everything. And we will catch you guys next time over at DEADPIT.com. Give us a thumbs up. Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that DEADPIT puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck.
I want you to. I don't care. Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. Click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left, The hills have eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DEADPIT on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.
We ain't